moving around. I didn't have, on the robot arm, you have like a stanchion you can use, and you can leave a lot of the tools there. I had to carry everything on me that I was using. And I always put 2 hooks on everything I was carrying. I didn't want one hook to come undone. And anyway, I kind of got out of sequence. And there was a cable that I was supposed to install on one of our instruments. It was an instrument that had a power supply failure called the Advanced Camera for Surveys. We had 2 instruments that had power supply failures. We had to replace the power supplies. Well, on one of them, the Advanced Camera for Surveys, I wasn't doing the repair, but I was going to help. And my helpful task the day before was I had access to an area of that instrument to run a power cable that was going to help repower this instrument from a piece of equipment in the Hubble to this instrument itself. And it was a power harness that was designed specifically for this. And without it, we couldn't repower that instrument, right? And so I was going to go right from I only used 1 hook on this thing because I was only going with it a few feet. I was going to go into this carrier and put a hook on it, and then go into the telescope and hook it up. But as I'm grabbing this thing, they just put the 1 hook around it. They say, Mike, don't go into the telescope yet, go around to the back of the shuttle. Is not how they said it, but more or less the instructions were, go around to the back of the shuttle and get the extra gyroscope, because we were having trouble with the gyroscopes. We had a spare, we did have a spare gyroscope in the back. So I go to the back of the shuttle, I'm doing a lot of translating all over the place. Again, this cable's like going like this on the side now, right? Like, oh, it's okay for 1 hook, I'll be all right. So I go around and I get because I need the other hook now for this, the extra hook that I had, I needed for this gyroscope. And I'm really worried about this gyroscope. This is just a cable. So I just get this, I get the gyroscope, this very expensive piece of equipment, and I, move it around, and I hand it off to my buddy. And I'm now standing right on the edge of the telescope, and out of the corner of my eye, and the telescope doors are open, okay? And a lot of sensitive equipment is right in front that we're not supposed to touch, right? And I'm waiting there, and out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh, what's that? I see the cable going like this. And I don't just see a cable, I see the future of astronomy going. And the thought that went through my mind was, that's the only one we have. Right? It's not like I can get another one of these. That's the only one I have. And luckily, this is where my training actually helped me. I knew from all my practice that I did have a waist tether hooked up to the telescope. And I knew exactly that waist tether was about 2.5, 3 feet long. I knew how far the star tracker that was really delicate was above me, right? And I knew that I had enough, I could still grab that cable without knocking into the star tracker and not launch myself into the telescope and destroy it. I did a leap, and I grabbed that thing and it pulled back on my tether. And I grabbed it. I didn't lose it, right? And no one said anything. Not a word. Inside, my buddy John Grunstald, I think, was so shocked. He was like, ah. And before he could say anything, I was already back, and so he just shut up. That was pretty sporty, things flying away. No one said a word. I had my helmet camera going, his camera views watching everything. No one said anything. I think. So we just went on, and it was fine. So we get back home, and we have our debrief, and we have a spacewalking debrief, and no one says anything. And then Tomas Gonzalez Torres, who is our lead spacewalk trainer, flight controller, comes up to me and he goes, Mass, come over here. What's going on with the power harness? And I said, well, I told him what happened. He goes, yeah, I couldn't, because he saw it happen, but he didn't say anything. But that was the closest I came to losing something. But luckily I was able to snatch it back. And